Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Sluu Hustle, and I appreciate you all for tapping in with me. Let's get right into this video, man.
There's a rapper out of San Antonio named Trapalot, and his story sounds too wild to be real. Before the music
What's up with them?
videos,
What's up
before
with
the
them?
fame, he found a way to make millions of dollars doing something most people wouldn't even believe. While his name was blowing up online, behind the scenes, he was living a dangerous double life,
Oh,
using his
shit.
rap career as a front for an operation that crossed lines most wouldn't dare to cross. Nobody
Oh,
knew what was really
shit.
going on, not his fans, not the streets, not even the people closest to him. But the truth would eventually come out, and when it did, it changed everything. This is the untold story of Trapalot, the San Antonio rapper who turned his come up into $1 million empire and
Oh,
paid the
shit.
ultimate price for it. Trapalot grew up on the east side of San Antonio, on a block known as Lincolnshire 500.
Okay,
A
we in
place where
Texas
struggle
with it.
wasn't a phase, it was a lifestyle. His mom worked long hours just to keep food on the table, and his father was locked up in federal prison, leaving Trapalot and his brother home alone with his Mexican grandmother most of the times. They spend their days hanging with the older neighborhood kids who are already smoking weed, fighting, and flirting with trouble. It didn't take long before Trapalot got pulled into it. By the
Yeah,
time he was
that's
10,
how it
he already
goes.
caught his first high, coming home smelling like smoke while his mom tried to hold it together. She knew she had to pull her sons out of that life, so she did what any mother would do. She turned to hope. She signed them up for soccer, hoping it would keep them busy and off the block. For a while, it worked. Trapalot started to focus on the field, chasing goals instead of problems. But the pull of the streets was stronger than any sport. Before long, he found himself slipping back into his old habits. At
That's
just
how it
11 years old,
goes.
he was arrested for stealing bikes and throwing rocks at houses. His first real run-in with the law. The cops let him off with a warning, dropping him at home. But instead of learning a lesson, it only fueled his curiosity. By middle school, things had escalated. He was
Not gonna lie, the fact that he's using this song is actually blowing me.
constantly suspended and eventually expelled after bringing an ounce of weed to school. Weed he bought with money stolen from his mom's tip jar. Around that same time, his mom met a new man, a business owner who took them out of the hood and into the suburbs. For the first time, they had stability, a house, money, and even private school. But you can't
Yeah.
erase the past that easy. With Trapalot reunited with his old friends, the cycle started all over again. By 12, he was caught with 2 stolen guns and sent to juvenile detention.
Damn, this
That's where his world
literally didn't even
behind
happen
those
in a
walls,
year.
he met others just like him, kids hardened by loss and chaos. And together, they formed a bond that would later become a group known as EGB, short for Eat Greedy Boys. After losing one of their closest friends, the crew's loyalty deepened, but so did the violence. Shootouts, robberies, and late-night missions became part of daily life, and
Oh,
childhood was
damn.
over. Surrounded by loss, violence, and betrayal, Trapalot was forced to grow up fast, adapting to a world that only knew 2 outcomes: get money or get buried.
Okay.
Surrounded by the chaos of street life, Trapalot began to find a new kind of
This
inspiration:
is crazy.
music. The streets had shaped his mindset, but artists like Lil Mouse, a young Chicago rapper who blew up at a young age, showed him there was another way to tell his story. Trapalot saw himself in that, a kid from the
Okay.
struggle, trying to make something out of
Wow.
nothing. By 2020, he was still
Lil,
knee-deep in the
Lil Mouse was his inspiration to start rapping. I don't think I've heard that before. Because he didn't have much of a long career.
game, hustling, selling weed, and robbing just to survive. But the idea of making music kept pulling at him. One night, out of boredom and curiosity, he and a few friends decided to record a track at a buddy's house using a cheap home setup. It wasn't planned or polished, but when they played it back, everyone in the room knew it had something special. The energy, the rawness, it was real. On the spot, they decided to shoot a music video that same day. They
Oh,
uploaded
shit.
it online, not expecting much, but within days, the numbers started climbing.
That's
Thousands of
crazy.
views turned into tens of thousands, and just like that, Trapalot had people talking. The buzz was real. His DMs started filling up, new followers rolled in, and his name began spreading past San Antonio. Friends and fans pushed him to keep going, to take music seriously. Then came his breakout hit, SRT. The track exploded overnight, pulling in massive views and giving him real recognition in the underground scene. For the first time,
I don't think
Trapalot
I've
wasn't just
ever
a
heard of
street
him,
kid.
bro. I'm
He
not
was
gonna
an
lie.
artist with a story. His life was changing fast. His name was buzzing, and fame was finally within reach. But just as things were starting to take off, he began to pull back. The streets weren't done with him yet.
Then that's normally how it goes, bro. I'm not about to lie. We hear this. So far, everything we've heard is damn near how it normally plays out, bro. You fuck around. You come from a single parent home. Grandma helping you. Helping your mom raise you. Fuck around. You flirt with sports for a little bit. That shit don't go your way. You back into the streets. Your mom might fuck around, meet a nice guy, try to change our lives. That don't work for you. You full on that don't work for you, you full on in the streets. It's just like, damn, like shit just, man, damn.
By the time
It's just a
Trap-A-Lot's
repeating
music started
cycle,
blowing
man. I
up,
swear
he
you
was
hear
living a
about it
double life.
every
On
day.
one side, he
It's
was
a,
the
it's a
rising
new
star of
guy
San
every day
Antonio.
that
His
comes
name
from the
buzzing, his
trenches, and the
songs
story is
gaining
always the
views, and
same,
fans
bro.
starting to take
It's
notice.
fucked
But
up.
behind the fame, he was still knee-deep in the streets, chasing money the fast way. Selling weed and hitting licks wasn't cutting it anymore. He wanted real money. And in South Texas, there was one underground business that could provide exactly that.
Oh
The business
shit.
of moving illegal immigrants was booming. All along the border, people were
Nah.
paying anywhere from
He
$5,000 to
went
$10,000
crazy.
per person to be smuggled into the U.S. Cartels controlled the routes and
$5,000 a head to smuggle people into the US for the cartel. Yeah,
drivers,
this nigga's
often young
bold.
men from small towns or the city, were paid to pick up migrants from stash houses near the border and transport them to nearby cities like San Antonio, Austin, or Houston. It was quick, dangerous, and extremely profitable. That's when one of Trap-A-Lot's friends introduced him to the game. At first, it sounded unreal. A short drive, a fat stack of cash, no drugs, no weapons, just people. But once he realized how much money could be made, he dove in head first.
Facts,
Trap-A-Lot
I
made
bet he
contact with
did.
a cartel connection. And suddenly, he was no longer playing small. He started organizing the trips, coordinating drivers, and taking a bigger cut. The cash started pouring in, thousands turning into tens of thousands, then hundreds. But even that wasn't enough. Trap-A-Lot knew driving personally was risky. One checkpoint, one wrong move, and it was over. So he
Facts,
came up with
literally.
something no one had done before. He used his rap career as the perfect front. As his music buzz grew, so did his following online. Trap-A-Lot began advertising the smuggling runs right on his Instagram story, disguised
What?
as easy money opportunities. He'd post offers like $5,000 for a quick hour-and-a-half drive, gas paid. To his fans, it looked like a harmless hustle. To him, it was genius. Within months, people were
What?
lining up to drive. Everyone wanted in. Young
No
fans,
way.
broke kids, people chasing the come up. They didn't care what they were moving. They just
No
wanted the
way.
payout. And for Trap-A-Lot,
This
it
is
meant
why he
money.
got, and this is why he got caught, bro. This is why he got caught. Nigga, you're working for the cartels, smuggling people. You gonna promote it on Instagram for any and everybody just to, yeah, $5,000, man, just a small hour-and-a-half drive. I got 5,000, hit my DM. Nigga, you're fucking insane. He's insane,
Expansion.
bro.
Before long, he had built a quiet empire. Trucks and drivers running daily,
This nigga's
thousands
nutty,
turning
gang.
into millions. While the music gave him fame, the smuggling gave him fortune. His name was everywhere, online, in the streets, and now whispered among law enforcement. Trap-A-Lot was getting rich, but he was also getting reckless. His songs were still going viral, but he wasn't dropping music anymore. Studio sessions were replaced with logistics meetings, and beats were replaced with business calls. For Trap-A-Lot, rap was no longer the dream, it was the disguise.
For how long, though? For how long?
At this point,
For how long? Rap was no longer the dream, it was the disguise. How long could you disguise yourself as a rapper? Smuggling people if you're not even making music anymore. Bro just said he stopped making music. His old shit was just still buzzing. How long did he expect? Nigga, I haven't even heard of this nigga. Who is this nigga? Bro, this
Trap-A-Lot
nigga's
was on top
crazy
of
as
the world.
fuck.
Money, status, fame, everything he'd once dreamed about. But the higher he climbed, the harder the fall that was waiting. As time passed, the money started slowing down. What was once a gold rush had turned into a crowded hustle. More people were getting into the smuggling game,
Man, I
flooding the
bet.
business and driving prices down. The
I
easy
bet.
money that once came in fast was now trickling in slow. To keep up his lifestyle, Trap-A-Lot started pushing harder. He took on more routes, ran more trips, and began experimenting with new ways to move people across the border. He and his crew found hidden paths through private ranches, dirt trails, and off-road shortcuts. Anything to stay off the main highways that were crawling with border patrol. For a while, it worked. The money started flowing again, but so did the risk. Trap-A-Lot had always followed one rule: never drive the lows yourself. But as profits shrank and paranoia grew, he broke his own code. The hunger for fast money made him careless. One night, desperate to pull off a big score, he decided to do the run himself. It started like any other job. He picked up a small group of immigrants and took a back route through a rural Texas ranch, headlights bouncing off the dirt road. Everything felt routine, quiet, too quiet. Then, as he neared the other side of the property, flashing lights lit up the darkness. Border Patrol was already there, waiting. It was a setup from the start. In seconds, everything he built came crashing down. The money, the empire, the illusion of control, gone. Trap-A-Lot was arrested on federal smuggling charges. His operation dismantled overnight. The fame, the music, the millions, all of it disappeared. For the first time, Trap-A-Lot had nothing. No crew, no cash, no freedom. Just the weight of every choice that brought him there.
Right on his shoulders.
After his arrest, Trap-A-Lot spent a little over a year behind bars, time that forced him to slow down and face everything he had been running from. Locked in a cell, away from the streets and the noise, he started to find peace in the one thing that had always kept him grounded: music. Even while incarcerated, he managed to release songs, his voice echoing through prison phones and studio connections on the outside. The world hadn't forgotten about him. If anything, his name carried more weight now than ever. When
I
he
bet
finally
it
walked out of
did.
those federal gates on probation, Trap-A-Lot was hungry for a fresh start. This time, he swore he'd leave the fast life behind and focus on his true gift. He poured himself into music, dropping videos, reconnecting with fans, and trying to rebuild the career he once threw away for quick money. For a while, it looked like he was really changing. But freedom comes with temptation,
I bet
and
it
old
do.
habits die hard.
I bet it
Just as things
does.
began to pick up again, Trap-A-Lot found himself back in federal custody after violating his probation. The streets had taken him once again,
Damn.
pulling him right back into the cycle he'd promised to escape. Trap-A-Lot had it all: the fame, the money, the respect. But in the end, the same hustle that made him a millionaire was the one that took it all away. From the east side of San Antonio to federal prison, his story shows how fast success can turn into survival. Because when you build an empire on the streets, it's never a question of if it'll fall. It's
Man, it's all about a matter of when. It's all about a matter of when it'll fall. No bullshit. I gotta say, I never really heard of this kid, honest to God, but this motherfucker's story is absolutely crazy. He started off, damn, a fucked up kid just trying to rap, make it out, to a fucking human smuggler logistics officer for the cartel. That's pretty much was his role. He and he executed in it, I gotta say, cause this motherfucker was going dumb. But that's it for the day, man. It's your boy Sluu Hustle. I appreciate you all. There'll be a video somewhere else on the screen. Make sure you click it, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all again in the next one, man.